talk about your Denver Broncos. How about the best in the NFL, Denver Broncos? How about the Denver Broncos that beat down those Green Bay Packers this last Sunday? We'll talk about that game. We'll talk about the MVP race. We'll talk about the injuries and the updates. We'll talk about your path to the number one seed in the AFC. It's all coming right at you. Oh, I don't know. How about right about now? Welcome into the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We have an amazing sponsor named Morgan Trinkets. We'll talk all about them later. My name is Keith Brugman. Man, just saddling up and going along for the ride with my trusty co-host. He's right over there. His name is Jody, the Judge Moncrief. Jody, welcome to this fantastic season, a holiday season, but also a fantastic Denver Broncos season. I sit back and just, in awe of what the season has been. It's been a dream come true, my friend. It's going to be a great one to talk about this evening about the Packers and everything else. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Excited for where this team is going. Coming off a huge win against Green Bay. I mean, people kept saying this is your possible Super Bowl matchup. Well, Denver showed why home field advantage is so important. I mean, come the fourth quarter, you could tell Green Bay was getting tired. They were getting wore down. Denver was laying the wood. And Sean Payton was basically turned into Dan Campbell. He was aggressive and going for it all the time. He didn't really care because he has 100% faith in this defense, and they had his back again. And if Bo plays like this the rest of the way, Super Bowl, here we come.
I want to start with this, Jody. We didn't even talk about this, man, but this Denver Broncos team, I'm usually not big on this. We've been disrespected, and Nick Wright is out there, and Colin Cowherd is out there, and we're underdogs. But boy, we came into this game 2 losses to our name, playing at home, 2-point underdogs. How much do you think that played into the mentality and the fight that we saw out of this Denver Broncos team as they took it to the Packers, like you said, laying the wood in the fourth quarter, but, took it to this Green Bay Packers team who I really felt like this was the most legitimate team the Denver Broncos faced at the time that they faced them. I know that they beat the Eagles and they're the Super Bowl, defending Super Bowl champs, but it didn't feel like we hit them and beat them at their peak, right? The Packers were playing some of their best football. They rolled into Mile High and they rolled out losers. And I don't know. For me, it felt like being the underdogs at home gave them a little extra bite on the field. How'd it feel for you, man?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, if you listen to interviews throughout the week, there were guys that didn't even know that they were. I definitely know Sean Payton did, and I'm sure he relayed that to a few pieces. I think what fired him up was, and I don't know if people seen it, was before the game when, and I don't remember who it was for the Packers, ran right in the middle of Denver, stretching and practicing on the sidelines, and that started a pushing fest, and First guy in there was,
Scuffle.
I mean, and if you want someone to have your back, Dre Greenlaw's probably as scary as they get. And I mean, he was right there and first in. So I think that fired him up, and I think it fired him up when Jordan Love kind of went off on the first half.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I love how you're saying don't get Drake Greenlaw riled up. He's the last guy you want to go up against. It just makes me think about, Drake Greenlaw gets a suspension because he's giving it to the refs. Guy don't care, man. I mean, wrong guy to get involved, wrong guy to get riled up in a mix up like that. This team, this team though, absolutely plays for each other, and it's evident on the field, and I think it's evident what you kind of saw in that pre-game off the field type of scuffle. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna get away with stuff. You know what I mean? Guy came running right through. Two guys having a conversation with the Broncos pregame. Guy decides he's going to run right in between the two Broncos. I mean, what do you expect, man? What do you expect? You're going to start something. You're expecting to start something. You're going to get it, and the Broncos brought it back to him, man. Roy Osborne's bringing it to us. He says, "Hey there, horsemen. Do not overlook the Jags, especially their run defense, man." And they are. They're top 10 run defense right now. The Denver Broncos don't have what I would say a scary run game at this point. What do you think about RJ Harvey, what he did? He put up about 65 yards. It did take him a few carries to get there. He got a touchdown as well. His evolution, how he's taken over. We talked a little bit pregame. We'll talk a little bit more during this episode about some of the injuries and J.K. Dobbins, but R.J. Harvey's had to take over that load. How do you feel about R.J. Harvey? How do you feel like how he did against Green Bay Packers as well, since we're kind of recapping that game?
He keeps this offense where they need to go and on schedule. He's not busting off 20-yard runs or anything, but the 3 to 4 yard runs every play is keeping him on schedule. And when it's third and manageable, that's where Denver's dangerous because it fits right into O's get the ball out quick and different things, that type of thing. So I think it's very important. You don't necessarily. I mean, you'd like him. You don't need the 20-yard runs, but if you're knocking off 4 yards a carry every 3 carries, you're getting a first down and you're moving the chain. So he's doing exactly what he needs to do. And you can tell it's been worked on. He's running up the middle. You can tell he's worked on not trying to kick it out. There was one play he tried to outrun someone against Green Bay and got caught from behind. But other than that, he is up the middle. Quadzilla, what we heard in preseason, you can see when he's up the middle, he's pushing the pile with his legs. And as if he can get you 4 yards a carry, that's all this offense really needs to keep them on schedule and keep other teams off or keep the defense off balance.
I'm glad that you brought up that play because I still remember he kicked it out. It was a wide left that he ended up kicking it out. I still remember vividly in my head, Jody. And the reason why is because I had your face flashing in my mind as I saw him not run north and south, but decide to go east and west, get caught from behind. And that's not what Jody wants. But that being said, Jody, I think that we do need to acknowledge, and you did kind of in what you were just saying, the change that we saw in RJ Harvey. I do think when we first saw RJ Harvey, he was always looking to kick it out, make a play, get that 60 yards that you were talking about, break off that big run, right? Trying to make something exceptional rather than taking what was there. And I think over kind of an evolution over the last couple of games, we've seen RJ Harvey, like you said, he's worked on it. We see a different type of RJ Harvey where he's putting his nose in between the guard and the tackle, the guard and the center, wherever it needs to be. He's getting north and south. He's getting yards. He's getting 3-4 yards a carry. He's keeping this offense on schedule like Sean Payton wants, and he's given Bo Nix the opportunity then to operate, especially if he happens to be in a second and short situation where now all of a sudden the whole playbook's open. That's what we want to see. And RJ Harvey, I think, has done a great job over the last couple of weeks in kind of producing that, even against, a tough-nosed Packers defense that we went up against, still grinds out 65 yards. It keeps them honest on defense and keeps our offense on schedule, I guess is the best way to put it.
And another thing that goes hand to hand with this is the last probably 4 games, probably back to the Kansas City game, Bo's been under center a lot more. And I think that is really helping this offense. Mm-hmm. It's really helping this run game, him being under center. So I like it. I'd like to see about 70 to 80 under center, 20 in shotgun. So
I agree. Helps the run game, helps the play action, helps the passing game. It was one of the things I was most worried about with Bo Nix as he came into the league, because he had like 98% of his snaps were in the shotgun. And it always makes me worried when a guy has basically never taken a snap under center, whether it been at Auburn or Oregon. He's just proven himself to be the quarterback and the type of athlete and the type of mind that Sean Payton really kind of alluded to from the very beginning. This is a guy that understands and works at what he needs to do. I've yet to see any issue of a guy that basically didn't take any snaps under center now be able to get up under center with no problem. That's fantastic. That's not something you always see from every single quarterback, that, especially as they try to progress from a college game to an NFL game. And I don't think we honestly give Bo Nix enough credit that he's sitting here in his second year and doing what he's doing and leading this team to the record that they are, and literally leading his team like he did this last Sunday and getting this win. Couple of things.
And I think it's helped with his footwork being under center. It helps with his drop backs and some different things. I mean, that pass to Franklin for the touchdown, that was probably the best pass I've seen, with him climbing the pocket and not sprinting up there and then trying to throw off balance.
Mm-hmm.
So it all goes hand in hand. And if he's I hope he's under center more, because you can see what it's done for this offense. I mean, you can go look at the last 3-4 games compared to the first 10. I mean, Bo Nix numbers are just dramatically better, and it's versus good teams. So I'm happy that they finally have gotten him under center more. And I mean, that's where Drew Brees played a lot. I mean, he played a lot under center. So if he can get anywhere near Drew Brees, we've got a home run. So
yes, absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Saying hello to a couple of people. We got Pearl coming in saying hello all. We'll talk about Pearl a little bit later when it comes to Morgan Trinkets. But Pearl, so good to have you in here talking a little bit of Broncos football and mixing it up. Paul's coming in here and saying hello as well. I'm going to get to this one from Paul because he ran it past us a couple different ways. But he's saying when Hufanga ran through the tight end and upended running back Josh Jacobs, that was one of the best hits I've ever seen. That did. I mean, I know that you were really high on Dre Greenlaw coming in here, filling that void that we really felt like we needed, and he has done as far as the linebacker position is concerned. But I think Talanoa Hufanga and what he's brought to the table between those two, because we kind of brought them in one breath, I think you could say, both being 49er products, both coming to the Denver Broncos, both having expectations on this team. we always talked about Dre Greenlaw. Talanoa Hufanga plays like a 80s, 90s style of defense out there. And this was the epitome of it right here when he just ran through one guy, pushed him into another, gets the running back for a loss, especially when it happens to be Josh Jacobs, which we always appreciate a little bit more.
And he hurt the
I mean,
first guy too.
yeah, and the guy gets injured in the play. The tight end got injured on the play. I forgot about that. Yes.
Wiley, I think.
Yep. I mean, we can talk about that play, obviously, and I kind of alluded to all the major pieces to that, but even more so, Talanoa Hufanga, talk about how much he's brought to, the Denver Broncos, whether it be the Packers game or the entire season. I think he's been a big, big key piece.
No, he by far has been Denver's best free agent pickup. Not even close. And and probably a lot of other people were too. I was worried both him and Greenlaw hurt, how this was going to work out, but he's been hitting people, blowing them up, and he gets right back up. So hopefully he can stay healthy for the rest of this season. And we have, I mean, he plays a lot like Troy Polamalu. He looks like Troy Polamalu out there with the hair and stuff, and he plays like him, plays like Steve Atwater. I mean, no care for his body. He's a missile out there. I mean, I love the way he plays.
Love the way he plays. I'm not trying to get any attention where I don't want attention, Jody. Riley Moss is out there getting flags left, right, and otherwise. And sometimes I think Talanoa Hufanga gets away with more than I've seen in recent years. He just, like you said, he's a missile. He doesn't care for his body. He goes all out all the time. It seems like a different era of football watching him play, and it's fantastic to see it on our team because I think it becomes a rallying point. I think he's an absolute leader on this team. I think he helps set that energy and that tone more
I mean, it says
often
a
than
lot
not.
that he'd only been here 4 or 5 months and he was already voted a captain.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that to me, that's huge. His first year here and he's already a captain.
Yeah, he doesn't even barely make it out of training camp, and he's a captain already. I got to say hello to Michael Ronquillo. He's dropping some stars, helping us out this evening. He's saying, "Good evening, Keith and Jody, and go Bo Broncos, blue and orange hearts." He's got the mile high salute. I'm gonna rewind in that comment just a little bit, man, because he says, "Go Bo Broncos, man." Are you gonna go ahead and put the stamp on this Denver Broncos Green Bay Packers matchup as Bo Nix's best game of his NFL career?
Yeah, because of what Green Bay's defense was. Um, his game last year versus Atlanta was right up there, but Atlanta was not good on defense, and no one was saying this is a Super Bowl matchup. So yeah, and the way I mean, when Denver was down 9, and when Pat Surtain picked that ball off and he drove Denver right on touchdown, and we outscored them 20-3 from there, and the way 4 times in the red zone and 4 touchdowns. That's, I mean, that's right. I mean, there were other things, but that's right there where the game was won. We were 4 for 4, and I think they were 1 for 4, and they kicked field
Makes a big
goals.
difference.
So
Hey,
if that continues and we score, what are we averaging, like 28 over the last 4 games? If that continues, get ready to see us in the Super Bowl, because I don't see anyone beating Denver in Denver.
can I do you one better than just seeing us in the Super Bowl, Jody? Peter Johnson's coming in and says, Bo looked elite versus Green Bay. He plays like that on a consistent level, and Denver are winning multiple Super Bowls very soon. I mean, I can't really disagree with Peter or you. I mean, I went back and I was just trying to replay this game in my mind. And there's been plenty of times, Jody, that Bo Nix has frustrated me. I'll be honest. Whether you've been coming on here and saying, for crying out loud, just take a sack rather than doing what you're doing back there. We talked about happy feet early in this season. There's been reason to have criticism, even though he's having a fantastic season, especially only in his second year. This last game, though, was nothing like that, Jody. This last game, I mean, I can think of like one 3-and-out series where I was a little bit frustrated. Beyond that, Bo Nix was making great decisions. He was getting into the right plays. He was making the right throws. Maybe a couple that he was trying to force in there, that were close to interceptions. But you got to take a couple chances here and there. I'm not going to fault him. I still feel like you said, 4 touchdowns. He's 23 for 34, 302 yards. I mean, yeah, it's 300. Yeah, 302 yards, I believe it was. So, I mean, just a complete game from Bo Nix, and really just felt like he was in control the entire time. He keeps playing like this. He keeps progressing at this level. It's still. I had to remind myself that he's just in his second year. You know what I mean? And that we're sitting in the season with almost this, regular season wrapped up with only 2 losses. We're going to sit in a fantastic position. Bo Nix has a lot to do with it.
Yep, and I'm going to give a lot of credit to Sean Payton as well. 2 things that getting Bo under center is one, and he's doing those little short motions with the running back out and back in just to let Bo see, are we in man? Are we in zone? What are we doing? I mean, and it's helping, and you can see it. And you can see Bo, he's going up the line, and they're opening things up for him, letting him audible plays to different things. And my only, I guess, it's really not a criticism, is at some point I wish they could figure out a way to get Ingram more involved. But other than that, I've been on here for 4 or 5 weeks complaining about the drops. Trey Franklin was hand catching the ball. There was no double clutching. There was none of that. He was going up. I mean, he heard it. He obviously worked on it and has done some things. So what they're doing, I mean, the penalties are going down. Everything, we haven't seen any mistakes on special teams as of late. Everything is coming together. So at the right time. If only they could figure out how to get plays in quicker. And I mean, they had that one series where they used 2 or 3, I think 2 timeouts, and it was frustrating to Bo. You could see Cortland Sutton behind Bo yelling, "Get the plays in." Other than that, I mean, everything's coming together, and this is a big game Sunday. You got to win this. You got to lock up this 1 seed, because you can make it very hard for teams come the fourth quarter to, stay with you. I haven't seen a team yet. Kansas City, I was at that game. Chris Jones was bent over at the hips in the fourth quarter. You could see Green Bay bent over. They were tired. It's only going to get worse as it goes down the stretch. So,
if you haven't been in Mile High Air, it seems even thinner when it's like super cold too. It's like there is no oxygen in this air at all. I'm just gasping. And to be out there playing, you're absolutely right, man. These teams that come in, they come into Mile High. We'll talk about the run to the AFC number 1 seed here in just a second as well. But I do want to get to Phil. Phil's coming in here, man. As always, supporting the store, supporting the podcast, dropping some stars, and has a little bit of, because some good news that we knew about and wants to talk about. He says, "Good evening, Keith and Jody. Really glad to see that Pat Bryant is healthy. Also, hopefully our former player doesn't burn us and one Mr. Timmy P, Mr. Tim Patrick on the Jacksonville Jaguars." I'm going to rewind a little bit. I'm going to rewind even further. Jody, I really like the not the idea, the actual usage of Marvin Mims in this last game versus Green Bay. Got more involved. It was even nicer to hear that actually the pass that went to Michael Bandy was a Marvin Mims play, but Marvin Mims needed a little bit of a break, so Michael Bandy ran out there and got his first touchdown as an NFL player. So once again, kind of a Marvin Mims drawn up play, just didn't happen to be on the field, so Michael Bandy gets that touchdown. So it was good to see Marvin Mims involved, but really probably more involved because Pat Bryant wasn't out of there on the field. Pat Bryant comes back. He's healthy. We actually had a fairly good injury report. We can hit that really quick while we talk about this, but talk about Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, and if you want, a little bit of Timmy Patrick there too as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to get Pat Bryant back. I mean, he was coming along. He makes those hard catches over the middle. He doesn't drop a lot of passes. So yeah, I'm excited to get him back. We need to keep getting him ramped up for the playoffs. And then I'm not really worried about Tim Patrick. I mean, I think he's only, I heard today, only like 13 catches on the season. He's like their number 4, number 5 receiver on their depth chart. I'm not really all that worried about him. There's other guys I'm more worried about over there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I'm not worried about anything because I think Trevor Lawrence is having a fantastic season. Trevor Etienne is another big piece that we'll have to be concerned about, I think, as well. They're putting up some points over there on offense. We'll end up breaking down this Jaguars Broncos matchup a little bit more, but it's certainly nice to get some injuries back. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Justin Sternad come back anytime soon as he's been put on IR. And that just not Justin Sternad, I'm sorry.
Brandon Jones.
Brandon Jones. I'm sorry. I did that in the chat prior to saying he was on IR. Brandon Jones. This is my concern, man. We talked a little bit about Talanoa Hufanga a little bit earlier, and I think that he's able to play so free because of what Brandon Jones is able to do alongside him and at the back end. How comfortable do you feel about PJ Locke coming in and filling that void that Brandon Jones has really been, in my opinion, an outstanding player? We had a lot of questions as he came to the Denver Broncos originally and has been nothing but a leap back there for us. Do you think PJ Locke has it in him to, step it up to that level? And do you think that there's enough faith in Vance Joseph to allow Talanoa Hufanga to play as open as he had with PJ Locke back there instead?
Yeah, I think there's faith in him because of him starting all last year.
Okay.
I think that's one. I think him having the back fusion and getting that healthy, and that getting him healthy, and he says that was a lot of his problems last year. I thought he played pretty well against Green Bay. I didn't see any big plays he gave up. I thought he played well there. And then I think the wild card is Jahdae Barron. I think you're going to see him a lot more on the field, kind of as a roamer, different type of guy. He'll be in there to get him more snaps. So I don't like that Brandon Jones is out because it's I think I had heard today or something, Denver was the only team that had 3 different guys that had played 300 snaps in their secondary, and he's a part of that. So that's big between him, Riley Moss, and Hufanga. So, it's a loss, but you've got starter experience back there, and you drafted the Thorpe Award winner who played safety, who's kind of played all over in the secondary. So you can kind of use him as that. You can use him as the joker on defense.
I like it, man. I mean, I'd love to see more Jahdae Barron. I think that he could be a big, big piece. I think based on this college game, I always thought that he could be one of the best kind of rovers like you're talking about and keeping his eyes on the quarterback's eyes, really spying and being able to maybe get some big PBUs or even some interceptions out there. I want to hit this really quick, Ben. We've got to hit a sponsorship break, so I think there's a perfect spot because Pearl has been amazing with us. It's the holiday season. I don't know if you can get a shipment in time. I know that Pearl worked really hard to get it there, But even if you get a late shipment, it's probably one of the best gifts you can give, because Pearl has an amazing company. It's called Morgan Trinkets. And Morgan Trinkets has been your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices for over 34 years. They were once a nationwide company. Now they just hang out in your backyard, like northern Colorado, southern Wyoming. Heck, they were just hanging out in Longmont last weekend and had a stellar show. So stellar that Pearl wasn't able to see the fantastic Green Bay Packers versus Denver Broncos game that Denver Broncos rode away with this victory. She was out there selling her wares and shipping them out. How can you check out Morgan Trinkets if you can't get out to one of the amazingest shows out in southern Wyoming or northern Colorado? Head on over to Etsy, type in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. You can check out everything that Pearl has to offer. Pearl Heater is her name, and if you type in Pearl Heat over on eBay, you can check out what she has to offer over there as well. All terms and conditions apply. I know over on Etsy, all orders over $50 are shipped absolutely free. All major credit cards are accepted as well. So check out our amazing sponsor, Pearl Heater, over at Morgan Trinkets. We'd appreciate it because we appreciate the heck out of her. She helps this show going, like people like Michael Ronquillo, like people like Phil McLaughlin, who have helped us out with some stars as well. But we appreciate you all coming in here with your comments, thoughts, and questions as well. I want to get a couple from Michael Ronquillo talking about the Ronk, everybody's friend, Michael Ronquillo. Zach Allen is the second player in NFL history with 40-plus quarterback hits back-to-back years, joining Mr. J.J. Watt. That's pretty elite company there, and I don't think Zach Allen gets enough respect and or I don't know, just overall acknowledgement, and in the game that he is from a national perspective. I know that we love him as Broncos fans. He's also says, I love this. Bo Nix has a shirt called the Overdogs made, and you can buy one. I love that, man. If you didn't catch it, they asked him about being underdogs. He says, I guess we're overdogs. Keep doubting, I guess, is the best way to put that, man. So Bo is still a rookie on a rookie deal, and teams still haven't spent Russell and the team still hasn't spent Russell Wilson's dead cap money. The team isn't even close, says Peter Johnson. A little bit easier for me to read that comment when it's sitting off to the side. So, Peter, you're right, man. We haven't gotten necessarily out of this Russell Wilson dead cap. There's still a lot to come, and I'm excited for what's maybe coming down the road. But
that's what's.
Go ahead, buddy.
That's what's crazy is, you're not paying Knicks, but you're basically playing a quarterback big money, and you built the roster the way it is. Like Peter said, wait till you get Russ completely off the books, and you can do like most teams want to do and go spend with a quarterback on the rookie deal. That's next year's. I mean, I don't want to look too far ahead, but next year's when I think you see a little spending spree and you get those cherries on top of the little pieces that you're missing. Not that we're missing very many, but so, I mean, it's pretty incredible to do what we've done with the cap hit of Russ the last 2 years.
Ain't that the truth? Pearl's coming in saying, thank you. Last week was a great show for Morgan Trinkets. Those who get to check her out live, love her. And those who are online and place an order, love her. I'm just telling you, Morgan Trinkets, you need to check them out. Clayton's coming in saying, hey guys, and reminding me, because I always forget to tell everybody, hit that like. By the way, any emoji that you put up right now, and I'm seeing how many emojis have been given over on Facebook at least, I can see them absolutely free. Doesn't cost you any more than the energy to hit that like, hit that wow, hit that love. We appreciate it. He's also saying hit that like button and hit that share button. hit that subscribe button. We'd love that as well. Hit that notification button because, well, we're never on time. And sometimes we have some surprise shows as well. So, make it easier on yourself. Hit the notification button. And there you go. I saw it, just another emoji get hit. Appreciate whoever did that out there. I'm going to go to this, Jody. As we kind of go through the progression of this show, I do see Phil really quickly. He says it's going to be nice to have Karina Reed back since Sternad is out. Plus, we signed Nash Jones to the practice squad. He can possibly help out with the old line depth, in my opinion. We had a lot of question about, again, who gets elevated, now that we've seen the injuries that we have. Justin Sternad is dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
So, Karina Reed is out there. Lavelle Bailey is out there. Drew Sanders is out there. What are your thoughts around the position? Who do we elevate when it comes to this Sunday versus the Jaguars, as we are kind of dealing with some injuries there at the position?
My best guess would be if Creamy Reed is ready and they think he can go this week, it's probably him. If he's kind of on that like Ben Powers where it might be a couple weeks after they activate him, then I would guess Lavelle Bailey gets elevated up. That would be my guess.
We've seen some Karina Reed. I like what I've seen so far. There is a little bit of me that preseason Lavelle Bailey, though, still sticks in my mind, and I'd like to see a little bit of Lavelle Bailey, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. Seeing a little bit of preseason action, though, too, can be a little deceiving. It will be interesting to see how the Denver Broncos tackle that position. One other thing that we wanted to really hit, though, man, and I got a little bit elevated, I'll be honest. Kenny invited me on the juice last night, and we only for a moment got onto this MVP topic. But Bo Nix is in the MVP race, and I know that's a topic that you wanted to bring up. I'm going to let you fly with it, my friend. I'm not going to even put any context around it. You'd want to talk about the MVP race. I want to get your thoughts on the MVP race. Right now, Bo Nix is in the 4th position. How do you feel about it, my friend?
He's definitely not going to win it. I mean, Matt Stafford's all but got it locked up, but the fact of kind of how this season started to him now having the 4th best odds to win it is pretty incredible, and it shows the progress and work that they put in to get him here and what he's done over the last 4 or 5 games.
Okay. I'll give you that. This is the problem I have. Drake May is in the 2nd position currently, is odd favorites. What are we talking about? What has Drake May done that Bo Nix hasn't done? How many 4th quarter comebacks, game-winning drives, big wins over big opponents, leading his team to the best record in the NFL has Drake May done? Why is Drake May getting all this love and Bo Nix is sitting in 4th and saying that he has no chance, and Drake May is sitting there in the 2 seed sitting there right in the running with a potentially taking home the trophy? It makes no sense to me why there should be such a large disparity, at least in the minds of, I don't know, the NFL minds themselves. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I know that Drake May, he looks great out there. I watched the game. He operates. He does a fantastic job. Bo Nix still has the better record. Bo Nix still has more 4th quarter winning drives than Drake May does. I don't get why there's such a disparity in between these two. Maybe you can answer that for me, but honestly, they should be 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, whatever it happens to be in my mind at best.
I think for me, it's really 2 things. One, he's still above 70% completion, which is pretty pretty outrageous. Where Bo is, you know, it's coming up, but I mean he's low 60s,
Okay.
mid 60s now. I think that's one. And I think the Patriots early were taking a lot of deep shots. He was connecting on a lot of big plays. They were throwing the ball a lot less than the Broncos, but he was connecting on a lot of downfield shots. I think he had for passes 20 yards or more, he had like the most or something like that. So I think those are the two big reasons. And where the Patriots were projected, really. I mean, they were not projected to be where they are right now. So I think and on top of it, you wouldn't beat Buffalo in Buffalo.
Fine. But I'm not going to say that everyone expected the Denver Broncos to be leading the AFC West, be leading the NFL overall in wins. Didn't expect Bo Nix to go out there and lead teams to fourth quarter comebacks and be the reason that they're winning games either. Just, I guess more bulletin board material, as Kenny Kirkpatrick would say on a regular basis on this show, because I just don't understand the disrespect in comparison. And I guess I should be glad that he's in the running and he's sitting there in the fourth position, but at the same time, it still doesn't seem like Bo Nix is getting nearly the love, at least in comparison to Drake May, because I don't think that Drake May is like the next coming of, at least at this point. You know what I mean? So,
And I agree with that. If you just look at raw stats, I mean, they're right the same amount of touchdowns, pretty much the same amount of interceptions, pass yards. So I agree with what you're saying.
okay, perfect, man. I'm going to lead the charge. I think that Bo Nix should have just as much of an opportunity. I think that, yeah, there's some great performances being put out there, mainly by running backs, by quarterbacks, but even Jackson Smith and Jigba is having a fantastic season. I'd rather push for him to win MVP than maybe some of these other quarterbacks, because I don't know. It frustrates me, man. I really like the up and comers. I think they should get some recognition. Bo Nix, even Drake May, I have no problem either one of those guys getting a little bit of love and more recognition in this race. I just wanted to go back to this because Phil dropped more stars on this comment. I just want to think about it from a different perspective. Any concern about Justin Sternad? Justin Sternad and his absence, I guess, when it comes to special teams as well.
I think it's going to be a miss for sure. I mean, he's a core special team player, but it is going to be nice to get if Reed's back this week. I mean, that what they've said really was one of the main reasons they kept him on the 53 to begin the year was because of his special teams. So, and I like the way the special teams has been playing of late. You haven't seen the mistakes. You haven't seen. I mean, everyone was fired. Rizzy 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. That's pretty much went away now. I think everything's coming together. Hopefully, losing a Sternad, maybe PJ Locke as well, because he's now a full-time starter on defense. Hopefully, those are some pieces that don't rock the boat there.
Well, I can tell you this, man. This Denver Broncos team is, I mean, as much positivity as I had walking into the season, I don't think I would have got to this point, man, to where this team's at, the fight that they have in them, the record that they have, and where they're at. When it comes to taking home the number one seed in the AFC, you put it in the kind of in the agenda as well. What are your thoughts around Denver Broncos taking it all, man? Taking the number one seed, getting that home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and hosting as possibly a run to the Super Bowl.
For me, it's the most important thing. I've been able to go to a game this year, and when the crowd's electric and on fire, it is as loud as can be in there. I seen it in the Kansas City game. You could see it at the Green Bay game. It affected Mahomes. It affected Love having to call timeouts, and the altitude. You see teams in the fourth quarter, the defense is wore out. You can go look at, and I think this was the end of the third or somewhere in the fourth. Denver was doing this kind of huddle up real quick and then rush up to the line and get a snap off, and you could see it was really starting to affect the defense. So, you can't. There's no really way to train for the altitude, and if you're not used to it or been around it, I mean, it definitely affects you. So that's, I mean, to me, it's the most important thing because it's wide open this year. There's no elite team. Yes, Buffalo can go on a heater, and they have Josh Allen, but their defense is not good. Baltimore's defense is not good. Lamar Jackson still looks hurt to me. Patrick Mahomes is not in the playoffs. Justin Herbert has never won a playoff game. I mean, this is as wide open as it gets this year, and why not Denver? Take advantages. I mean, I don't need to feel sorry or anything. Give me the easiest path possible, and that's in Denver.
Yeah. My concern, I mean, we got to stay diligent. We got to continue to get wins. I mean, honestly, the AFC West is still up for kind of grabs. You look at the Chargers, they have the Cowboys, Texans, and then they have the Broncos. There's the Cowboys have, shown some cracks. That Broncos matchup to finish out the season could be huge. The Texans is the game that I expect the Chargers to have the biggest issue with, but the Broncos aren't without challenges over the next few games as well. The next game is the Jaguars, and that's going to be a key one. I always ask you this every Wednesday. Are you going to be able to do a pregame with us at all, Jody, or are you going to be without, whether it be Saturday or Sunday?
Probably without this week.
All right. So I think this is your favorite part, man, when this does happen and you're without, because then this episode becomes kind of your pregame. How you feeling about this Jaguars matchup, man? This is a big matchup. Jaguars are playing good football. Trevor Lawrence is looking good. Travis Etienne is looking good. Duval is looking pretty dang good. And Liam Cohen's first season as a head coach. I mean, things are rolling pretty well there in Jacksonville. It's another big matchup for the Denver Broncos. It's another matchup that we need to get right if we want to continue, like you said, get that home field advantage, get that number one seed. I want to get your kind of thoughts around the Jacksonville Jaguars, this game coming up, and maybe even an outcome / prediction on the score, if you don't mind.
I'm interested to see how Trevor Lawrence does against a legit top 3 defense in the NFL. I mean, he put up big numbers against the Titans, the Colts when they lost Daniel Jones, and the Jets. Before that, I mean, he was, in my opinion, playing average football. He threw 3 picks against the Cardinals before those 3 games. 1 touchdown, 1 pick against the Chargers. Same against the Texans, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. Went to overtime and barely beat the Raiders. So I don't know if it was just the stretch of bad teams he played or if they're finally starting to figure something out. That's what I'm going to be interested to see. Because he is the most, in my opinion, the most hit or miss quarterback. When he's on, shows why he was drafted number 1. And when he's off, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in football. So I want to see how he does against this defense. And I think Denver's going to be focused. Sean Payton, I mean, he was testy afterwards when everyone said goal number 1 was making the playoffs, and he made it known that was never a goal. It was 1, win the AFC West, 2, get the best seed as possible, and 3, win a Super Bowl. And they have not achieved any of those goals yet currently. So, and he let that known multiple times this week in pressers. So he's got them focused, and even you can hear it from Bo Nix and some of the other guys. We've won nothing yet.
One of the top run defenses in the league when we match up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I understand your concerns about Trevor Lawrence, maybe where he's at comparison to, the competition that he's went up against. How do you feel about this Jacksonville Jaguars defense, who has been, though, tough on a lot of different offenses when it comes to the running game, and maybe how that could potentially make the Denver Broncos a little bit more one-sided as far as their offense is concerned, putting a lot more pressure on Bo Nix?
I'm going to be interested to see the teams can throw on the Jags, so I think that skews it a little bit. Teams throw a lot more than they run on them, so our team's just not running because you can throw on them. That's what I'm going to be interested to see. And I'll take Denver's O-line against anybody. I mean, they're playing elite football right now, and I expect them to continue to open holes for Harvey. And as his vision and timing and different things get better, I think the 3-4 yard runs will bust into 6, 7, 8, 9 yard runs. I mean, it's the same holes were there for him and Dobbins was averaging a little over 5 a carry, where Harvey's just under 4. So, I mean, they're there. So I think as he gets more reps and different things, I expect the numbers to continue to go up. So, yeah, I'm interested to see if this was more an elite run defense or a bad pass defense and teams just throw on them.
Yeah, it'll be something I'll now cue in to watch as the judge is weighing in, putting the gavel down, and giving us some ideas of what we should be watching when it comes to this game coming up versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. A couple of final thoughts when it comes to rounding out the show, and we will end up rounding this out in just a few moments, unless anybody has any final thoughts that we need to get to. Michael Ronquillo says the culture of the Denver Broncos organization is better than the last 10 years since probably 2015, 2016. And boy, ain't that the truth, man. We started covering the Denver Broncos maybe at not the best time, me and you, Jody. We've went through some hard times. I know that all Broncos fans probably have.
When did we start? When they got Russ, didn't we?
Yeah, about when they got Russ, man. That's about when me and you linked up and started running. I mean, I went through a little bit of Drew Lock before that, but yeah, I think about the time that Russell Wilson came around is about the time that me and you started podcasting. It was rough to begin with, man, and it was rough before that a little bit, but man, good times are here, man. And as Michael Ronquillo says, I think some of the best culture that I've seen, certainly since that 15-16 season. That's without a doubt. I mean, this team is on an elite level. I think when you operate behind the scenes at this level, it absolutely translates to the field. That's what we're seeing now. Hats off to the ownership and the coaching that I think has really propelled us to this point.
And for me, that's where it starts. I mean, for Sean Payton to be able to walk into owners that everyone knew had deep pockets, but tell them this is going to make us a better team, and I will get you where you need to go in the process of doing this, and you eat almost $100 million. I mean, as business owners, that's probably hard to. I mean, you don't become a millionaire or a billionaire losing money. So,
yeah.
And to trust him, and then also to Sean Payton as well, to go into that draft knowing that he had to hit on a quarterback, and they didn't move up, they didn't anything, they stood pat, and drafted the 6th quarterback off of the board. And what he's done with what he's been able to do with Nick's playoffs, and I mean, of all the quarterbacks drafted that year, he pretty much leads in every category: passing yards, touchdowns, I mean, you name it, he leads, wins, fourth quarter comebacks, all of it. So what he's been able to do and put everything on the line, pretty much based off of those two moves right there, when it was could have been easy enough to say we were close with Russell Wilson. I can tweak him a little bit and get there and not eat that money, and um, to work well like that, and for the owners to have faith in George Payton after you know, I'm not going to knock the Russell Wilson trade, but there are people that do, and the Nathaniel Hackett, which was a complete whiff and one of the worst hires ever.
Hmm.
So to come back from all that and where you were 3 years ago to where you are now, the best team in football, and you're rolling, and it's pretty incredible. And um, just to think about 3 years ago, whether the rumors are true or not, that this was the third option, that DeMarco Ryan or D'Amico Ryans and Jonathan Gannon were the first two options. We struck gold because it sounds like Jonathan Gannon may be fired already, and I'm not sure where we're at if we have D'Amico Ryans, because I don't think he develops Bo Nix like Sean Payton has, or if we even have Bo Nix. So
That's also fair.
and Sean Payton, he can rub you the wrong way, but he lets you know where you stand, and he holds people accountable, and for right or wrong. You talk or what you hear from anyone on this team, they love playing for him, and they go through a brick wall. So um, there's none of this as Russell Wilson's coming off the field, and you have whoever it was, Mike Upot, or whoever it was, Mike Purcell's getting in Russell's face, and internal fighting and stuff. There's none of that now. So old lineman not helping Russ up as he's getting sacked and that type of stuff. I mean, there's none of that now. So
yeah, ain't that the truth? Yeah, it's I always think of Sean Payton. Whenever I think of Sean Payton, I always think of Bill Parcells, because that's the coaching tree that he came through. And Bill Parcells is definitely one of those guys that it was like that love-hate relationship, right? I mean, some guys absolutely hated Bill Parcells maybe in the beginning, loved him at the end. Most players, coaches, you name it, love Bill Parcells. But he was definitely not the easiest guy to get along with. He was definitely the perfect coach for that New York media. He wasn't going to take any flack, and Sean Payton is cut from the same cloth. I mean, you'll hate him but love him. You'll hate that you'll never get an update on your player injuries, but you'll love the fact that he keeps everything close to the vest. You know what I mean? It's just the type of player, the type of coach that he is. And like you said, if he was the third option, dang, we struck gold. Dang, we struck gold.
And the thing is, you may not like him, but you better respect him for what he's done. And 3 years ago, I don't think people, or for whatever it was 4 years ago now, I don't think people respected Nathaniel Hackett. And when you've lost respect as you're trying to lead an organization and team, where do you go from there?
Yeah, doesn't go hand in hand. That's for dang sure.
When people are laughing at you, whether it's to your face or behind the scenes or to the media, none of that's happening here. You don't hear people anything Sean Payton. I mean,
yeah, nothing but respect, right?
Respect, right?
Nothing but respect, man. Brings me full circle, man. Certainly appreciate the respect and the love and everything that our followers bring to us, man. It's the holiday season. It's Christmas time. It's right around the corner, and it's the time to honestly appreciate those who appreciate you. And man, from Michael Ronquillo to Phil McLaughlin's to the Pearls to the Ernies to you name it. Peter has been in here, and I mean Kayla and Adam. are usually hanging out. Paul Schaefer's been in here. Clayton always supporting us. I mean, just everybody who's been a part of the Denver Bronco Roundup, supporting this team as we support our team, the Denver Broncos, as they continue to make their run on an epic run this season, man. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you coming in here and supporting us as we support the team that we love and we know that you love as well, man. Um, I just want to get some final thoughts, man. Like you said, you're not going to be able to make it for a pregame show this weekend, man. Going to miss you. Uh, expect great things against this Jacksonville Jaguars team. Keep underestimating NFL and everybody else out there. But appreciate the show, Jody. And like I said, some final thoughts from you before we get out of here.
This is a big game. You lose this game, Jacksonville's one game behind you. They have the tiebreaker now. You let Buffalo get, if they win, one game behind you. So this is to me the most important game of the season. Stay focused, following Sean Payton's footsteps. The 3 goals we had, we have not accomplished any of them yet. So you need to win this game. Show why home field is so important, and come out of this game healthy. I expect another. They're going to be focused all week. There's minus Brandon Jones really and Dobbins. They're as healthy as you can be. I mean, if that's all you lose all season is 2 starters, you're in good shape. You're in as good a shape as you can be, really. Take advantage of what's in front of you, because there's no Mahomes this year. There might not be any Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, it's wide open for you. No Joe Burrow. It's as wide open as can be. And you play like you did Sunday. I welcome anyone to come to Denver and try to compete with that. So
just try to knock us out. Just try to knock us out mile high.
Keep
January,
doubting.
February. Yep.
I mean, keep doubting us. Everyone's taking receipts on this team, so keep doubting us. I like what Bo's done. I mean, when he said he finally scrubbed all his social media and kind of just said, screw this, and I don't need to listen to that. And like he said last week, I don't really care what people think. My mom thinks we're going to win, and that's all that matters. That's the kind of focus that Sean Payton has on everything, and you can tell it's not fake when he stops you mid-sentence and says, that was not any of the goals, and I'm going to set this straight.
Yeah.
So when people laughed at the beginning of the season that he's putting too much pressure on this team, he knew what he was doing, and he knew that it may not look pretty week 1 or 2, but he was going to get where it needed to be. And there's a reason that they didn't really go out and go get the big name wide receiver or go get the big name running back, because he knew he had people in house that could do it. And everything's coming along just as planned. So just stay focused and stay the course. And I think we'll be playing well into January. So.
Love it, my friend. Love it, my friend. As you were talking, it made me really think. This time of year, maybe if you're not a good girl or boy, you're expecting that lump of coal in your stocking. And, maybe Sean Payton didn't have the strongest roster or the most money to spend, but he took that lump of coal, man, and he pressed it. And he put it underneath all that pressure of Super Bowl contending quarterback, and this is a Super Bowl contending team. And he pressed on that coal so dang hard, Jody, man, that we're coming out with some freaking diamonds this year, man, in what we got from the Denver Broncos, man. They need to continue. They got a few more games in front of them. But like you said, whether it be the Buffalo Bills, whether it be, honestly, I'm even a little bit nervous about the Chargers and what they have up against, what they have in front of them and how they could potentially make a run towards the AFC West. I mean, they need to continue to keep that pressure on. They need to continue to take this coal and turn it into the diamond. Get that AFC #1 seed. Make every single team come through Denver, because you were there, Jody. You heard that place, how loud it can get, how tough it is to play. You saw the hands on the hips from the defense that had to come into Mile High. It's a whole different ball game, and the Denver Broncos have the means to do it. Man, another fantastic episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. I appreciate all the Posse members who came along for the ride, came in here with your comments, your questions, your thoughts. I hope you're all doing well during this holiday season. I know that it's sometimes as much of it can be a happy time, it can be a trying time. So believe me, hang in there, stay with it. We'll be here for you for all the Denver Broncos coverage, but we do need to get out of here this evening, man. By the way, reach out to us, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it happens. X, I'm sorry, I called it Twitter. I'm that old millennial. Check us out on X. Check us out on Facebook. Jody just posted out some cute, amazing pictures of his kids, man. Those are, got some cute kids, man. I mean, holiday pictures. It's that time of the year. Reach out to us. We'd love to talk some Broncos football with you anytime, man. But you all need to stay safe. We got to get out here, and we do it one way and one way only. Keep those boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course, Denver Broncos right there in your heart. Until next time, we're going to get out of here. Mile high salute. Y'all take care. Have a great night, everybody. Can't wait to see you next time. Take care.